Hello, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you to everyone that's been following and hosting. It really means a lot to me. I did not take enough time to thank you all last time, so I apologise for that. But I'll try and make a better effort this time. So, this week in episode 2, thanks for joining us with episode 2. It's nice to see everybody. Thanks for the host, J-Rod. Means a lot. So we have Buckle's update, which we've entitled "Everybody is Dead," which pretty much sums up the last week, I think. Yeah.
So you want to jump right in, or you want to introduce the guest?
No, that's right. I'm going to introduce the guest before we play Classy's amazing intro. So today we have with us, we've got JZ. Say hello.
Hello.
We've got Clammy.
What's up?
And we've got Elmo.
Hello.
Hello. Hope you're all doing well.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. That prompt response there. That prompt response.
Doing well.
Alright, great stuff. Well, we will roll intro and be back in a moment. God, I love that intro. Forgot to unmute you all. Excellent. So thank you to everybody again. Thanks Claire, Isaac, Light, Isulu, Rob, DeFellow, LT, Clammy. You really just followed me, Clammy?
Yeah, sorry.
Terrible this. That's terrible.
Feel free to
No.
kick me.
So good, so good. I've got all these amazing people in my chat, it's great. Well, over to you, Buckle.
Over to me, huh?
Yeah, let's find out what's been going on.
Well, so Friday started the third full week of the server. The first week, as we talked about last week, was very, very slow. So the second week, of course, had to be incredibly fast. And as you joked, we're calling it "Everyone is Dead" because everyone's dead.
Pretty much.
So those of you who don't follow I put all the update commands and most of the channels. So if you don't follow those, here's the recap of the week. And the first 5 minutes is going to be about me, so just hang tight. So given that, Grimm's character.
Long live the king.
Yeah. I think I got an entire 47 hours live as king in game.
Nice.
So, because of the Seven Hells' antics, rushing about here and there, a defense pact formed in the north, and it involved a town called Sanctuary, which is east of the large mountain, the Ingvar Homestead, Fenrir's Keep, and the mountain people, which we came to find out was named Crescent Reach. So those groups were going back and forth, talking to one another how they could defend. And at some point, they approached Crucible, seeing that they were one of the largest standing groups, with a pretty big build. Came to meet my character Hugh. Through some RP over a couple days, decided to bring Crucible into the Defense Pact and raise Hugh up to a king, which he was very hesitant to take on. Not all the people there were interested in that kind of thing. Some left, and unbeknownst to us, the Seven Hells and the Shield Maidens, who had now an alliance, were finding out that there was a defense pact that was apparently going to war against them. This was not communicated to Crucible, so within one game day of the Ascension to King, going out to check on rumors that Slevsig had been wiped out, Grim and Sigurd and co. roll up, find out what's going on, get into a small altercation, and think that a war's going on. And that might have been provocated a little bit by JayZed's character, Mr. Windrush. He wasn't the only one, but the only one we could pin it on for now.
Because I told you.
Yeah. So we know there's
lies. Nobody would have known.
Nah, I trust him.
I wouldn't
Look at
trust
his
me.
face. How can you not trust him?
I wasn't trusting.
I wouldn't
Windrush
trust
isn't
me.
the. He's not the only rumor monger. There are others out there, but I just said you're the one who told me, and there were people out there. You could see him on various streams talking about it, and finally it came down to Shishka's character Sylvia being the one to say the name Crucible. And that's why they all rolled up. Over the next 2 days, that flat out came to war, accidentally, but war. When the Seven Hells caught Crucible working in the fields with no armor, because who works in armor, and some harsh decisions by Crucible. King dies, a lot of people there die. Some help from Ingvar Homestead showed up at the time. Ulrich was coming over, completely unrelated, with Cletus, who Grim wanted to kill, which started the whole thing off. Ulrich got some men involved. They came, they showed up. So we had a little bit of back and forth, but ultimately no one from the Seven Hells was lost, and a bunch of other people were. Keep going forward a few days, and Patty's back out tax collecting, which is really extortion and theft. And the Ingvar Homestead takes it upon them to end that threat. So they kill Patty, but they have Brody captive, and immediately they're caught in a situation. Should they kill Brody, or should they let him go? Brody doesn't always seem to know what he's doing because he's a bit of a softhead. So it's like, do we kill someone who may be being pressured into murder, not really understanding what it all means, and clearly he was sad as soon as Patty was dead, or do we let him go and we're just going to run straight back to Grim and Sigurd and they're going to wipe us out?
It's so heartbreaking.
My opinion is they should have squashed his soft little head, but that's me. It would have been good RP to figure out, see, maybe we could rehabilitate Brody. Either way, Brody escapes. He runs around in circles for 13 hours until Luxar, one of the Ingvars, gets out and tries to help him escape. And he does that with the help of Nessa. Nessa is from Sanctuary, Luxar from the Ingvar Homestead. 2 people from the original Defense Pact are now helping Brody escape back to the Seven Hells. This results in, well, there's some story to that, in that Luxar may have been allowed to live from the fight at Crucible because he didn't participate. And so he thinks that he's going to get salvation from that by saying, hey, we freed Brody. Grim's not having any of it. They beat the crap out of him and they attempt to take him prisoner. But the horses were just far enough out of the claim that broken, bloody, no armor, Luxar is still able to escape. And he gets away on a horse, leaving behind Nessa, who is Joshua's intended bride. That's how they're going to seal their arrangement. So they take Nessa hostage. This results in an attack from the Ingvar Homestead on the Seven Hells in the dead of night. Big sneak attack. Some of them die. They don't really get much done, but they at least show that Seven Hells isn't impenetrable, and some of them escape. Character within the Ingvar Homestead, Ellison, who kind of rose up after Ulrich died. He essentially goes through and kills most of the Ingvars for being so stupid and putting them all at risk, unbeknownst to the Seven Hells, who are coming up to wipe out the Ingvars. finding that Ellison had taken his revenge, more or less. Grim and the crew slaughtered them all anyway, thereby wiping out a second threat to their power in the south. So that leads us up to now, where the Ingvars are wiped out, their follow-ups are wiped out, Crucible's weakened. Nessa, as far as I know, is still a captive within the Seven Hells, and I think they're trying to force her to have Stockholm Syndrome. No? I know that she was sent out of the keep, but a lot of that hasn't been seen on streams yet. So, but some kind of mole or something. But she might still be working for them or not. Oh, I'm sorry. She's the character in Southreach, right?
I've seen her sort of at North in Sanctuary.
Okay, because there's a bit where Southreach now, who is the ally of Seven Hells, mostly by force, is they're harboring someone. That Nas, the leader of Southreach, is harboring someone, and they were told by Grim and Sigurd to kill the person they're harboring. Nas refused, but he said that he would probably do it. He left the keep in the dead of night with Einar, and he rode to Crucible to ask for, ostensibly to pay his respects for the deaths of the people they faced, but he let slip that he was working on an alliance. There was a character in Crucible at the time who was working on looking to find a group of men to fight back, and just as they were starting to talk about plans of where to attack, Grim shows up, takes Nas away. Einar has run off at this point, not sure whether or not Einar is working with them, or the Seven Hells or not. But the last we see of Nas, he's led away by Grim, and that's where this was not on stream. We're caught up by Crom the next day, who says that Nas is brought into the Shieldman's camp, the Miskra, and he's killed for not following through. Southreach is then given a new leader, Took, who seems to be loyal to the Seven Hells, either through fear or some other means. So that's where we're at now. And so we don't know what's going to happen yet. That's where the story is left off, where there's a bunch of broken people all in the north, some towns that are unaffected, and Southreach, ostensibly the biggest town in the south, is not still aligned with Seven Hells.
Phew.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Everyone Dies.
That's what it's called, Everyone Dies.
Yeah. Wow. Lots happened this week.
Really kicked out from the first week.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Well, you see, I don't think the person Southreach is harbouring is Nessa.
It may not be. I didn't know for sure.
And in game I know none of it, but I know it's just some things that I saw on a stream that somebody mentioned that it could either be Roland, who escaped from Themyscira after Grim and Sigurd tore the place down the first time. Or was that the second time? I can't remember. Or it's Alexander. I think it's probably one of those two in Southreach.
I've heard the term Ingvar girl, but yes, I know Roland is hiding there, and I think Alexander is still at Fenrir's Keep.
Okay.
I've seen him around, so I think that he's still with those guys.
Fair enough. We'll have to see what happens this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tonight is the last night for a lot of people in Life is Feudal before PAX, so I think we can see some probably pretty aggressive things happening, either battle-wise or diplomacy-wise or just in general RP.
Yeah. I'll have to get a feeling it's
like
going to be fairly
break.
dead next week.
Yes. So if you got building to do it next weekend.
yeah, get it done. Thanks everybody that has been following. I love you all. You're amazing people. I can't believe I've got so many cool people in chat. We've got S. Keen, we got Zipadelli, Nikki's here, Almo, you don't count. We got Shiska. So yeah, thanks to everybody that has been following. But right now, we're going to talk to Mr. ImClammy about Andreas 1.
Well, alright. What do you want to know then? What?
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Alright,
Whatever
well-
you want to tell us. Tell us his
Alright.
history.
Well, Andreas Swan was born in like deep south parts before even anyone came to the land. He was born with his family and his brother Bomu, who currently lives with him at the Legend Camp. Well, that's later. I'll carry on. Basically, as he was growing up, he was taught a native language, so he never knew what English was before. He sort of only talked his own language, being as the only people that were living on the land were native speakers. And it was about, I'd say about 17 years past, where what would you call them? The adventurers? Is that what you call them? You find lands and stuff? I ain't good with
Invaders,
names,
shipwreckers.
Anyway, they come to the land and they basically slaughter all of Andreas Swan's family. But luckily, Andreas Swan's dad managed to get him and Bomu out and like shoo them away. So they go into hiding after all this happens. And then the old king turns up. That was all in season 1 happened when Andreas Swan was basically reforming himself, should I say, learning the English language, reading old books and stuff like that. And he met up with a group called Legend who came on like a prisoner's boat. They came over and they like built a community with them, and basically he's just been there ever since with them, him and his brother. His brother doesn't speak a lick of English, but Andreas is trying to slowly learn him the English ways. So yeah, that's about my character really.
I have to say, he's so much fun bumping into.
Yeah, he is.
So, because you came around Themyscira a couple of times.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to dislike him because he don't talk English. I'm not sure if it's because he don't talk English or just because no one can understand him in game at all. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, that happened.
Maybe some people just need to lighten up a little.
Yeah. Take it easy.
That's something everyone in the kingdom could take to heart.
Perhaps,
Lighten up
yeah.
inside. I'm very guilty of that too. So.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
and Andreas likes to keep to himself. He he does talk to people, like he doesn't really like talking to them heart to heart. Do you know what I mean? Like if he talks to them, it's either small talk, or if he ends up in a conversation, he tends to like try and do his best to join in and see what's going on. But he's normally like rejected, being as it's kind of weird, as people call me. But yeah, that's about it.
Nothing wrong with a bit of weirdness.
You are quite weird.
Yeah.
Weird in all the right ways.
Cheers, Jay. Love you, bro.
Alright, so who you had any interesting encounters that you'd like to share?
With Andreas Swan?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I have met Grim at Shield Maiden's place. I turned up at the Shield Maiden place basically looking for animals to hunt, because Andreas Swan is a really big hunter. Like, he enjoys killing things, basically. He's just like a massive mole. And basically he runs across the Shield Maiden's place wanting to find boars, basically, because he knows there's like a boar hideout or cave somewhere. And he enjoys hunting boars. I don't know why, he just enjoys killing boars for some unknown reason. Yeah, basically. And,
Boar.
he basically met Grim at the Shield Maiden's place along with is it Sigurd, Crom's character?
Mhm. Yep.
And Crom was basically talking to him about who he worships and stuff like that. And sorry, I'm a little shaky. I'm really nervous. I apologise.
Alright.
You're a streamer, man.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Remember
Just ignore
Omega.
me.
It's all good.
But I've had an interesting interaction with Grim and Sigurd. I first met Sigurd when we were talking about Odin. My character is really strange when it comes to Odin. A lot of Vikings like to die a glorious death, but my one just seems to be want to be a servant. Really, he wants to be like a servant to someone who's bigger than him. Basically, he's like I don't know. It's a kind of a weird fantasy of his to be like bossed about, really, because he's never really.
Okay.
He's a sub, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. But he just wants to be like a servant basically, because he's always lived his own life. He's never really lived with like the so-called kings, so he wants to have an insight to what the life's like really. And I was talking to Sigurd about Odin and stuff like that, and he started insulting me because of the way how I want to be in his afterlife, should I say? And it turned into like a really sour conversation with me just running off on my horse, crying basically. But yeah, that was my interesting one with Sigurd with what's his name, Grim again? Jesus.
Grim.
With Grim, he just basically said I was a weird character because I taught my own language and I taught riddles and stuff like that. So yeah, those are my two main stuff.
Fair enough.
Very nice. Good
That
stuff.
was really long. I apologise.
That's alright.
Fine.
Don't worry, we've got plenty of time.
You're fine.
All together, right, Clayman?
What, sorry?
You made up your own language altogether.
Oh yeah. All from
I think-
scratch.
And you told me that you keep it up on your cell phone to like all the words and stuff.
Yes, in the notes page.
Nice. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Me and Bomo like to talk in our own language to insult people and stuff like that. They don't know what we're going on about. They're like, what's he talking about? But we're just laughing in our own jokes, really.
Okay,
And
so
therein
note to
that
self.
lies why people don't like when people speak other languages around them, because they inherently think that you're insulting them.
yeah.
You're part of the
Probably.
problem there, Clammy, not the solution. Oh, great stuff. Alright, what we're going to do, we'll come back and talk about your latest character in a few moments.
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good.
And maybe we'll speak to Almo.
Yeah?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Tell us about your guy.
Wow, my character is really, really a complicated one. He's actually a Viking, came from a village, a fishing village, named Uvera, which meant sea serpent. He's a really, really sad character. He's really broken-hearted. His wife and his child died in a storm while he was away in the seas. When he got back home, he found out their house fell on them. And then he went with his crew on one of their trips to find a storm which wrecked the ship, killed most of his people, and then they drove away to the land, taking as much debris as they could to rebuild the place. The first house that we actually built in the story was from the debris of the Odin's Wrath, our ship. And that's why we decided to call our place Odin's Wrath, after all.
Very nice.
So-
I like it.
Yeah. My character is, because he got disappointed by the gods so many times, he lost his family, he lost his child, he lost his men in the sea. He's really torn apart by the gods. He really wants to believe them, but he's starting to lose his faith slowly and slowly and slowly. That's why he likes venturing alone, hunt alone, leaving his men behind as much as he can, just roaming the land as much as he can, and occasionally stomping and spying across stuff he sees, trying as much as he can not to talk to people, because he's really, really wants to be left alone. But
I'm not surprised after
fortunate-
being shot at point blank range by Flux.
in a arrow in the head by
Yeah.
some girl named Flux. Yeah, but I got even with her. She got an arrow in the knee for me. Can't be an adventurer right now.
Excellent, someone got it in there. Bonus points. Oh, brilliant. So, apart from running into some ruggedly handsome, out-of-work blacksmith, have you had any other interesting
Oh, I have many.
encounters?
Actually, I had such many interesting encounters while I was roaming the forest all together. And one that particular I remember was actually inside my keep. A man came inside our keep, came from the Shield Maidens, telling us that there was war going on, whispers of wars, that he was away, and he wants to go on a diplomatic mission around the land, around all the keeps he can find, to try to stop the war that is about to come. So because I know the forest so well and I thought his cause was honorable, I decided to show him all the places I knew, which were a lot because I roamed the forest so much. And we rode to 7 keeps, if I'm not mistaken, and just talking to the people there, trying to convince them not going to war. One of the funny parts was in Crucible when we came to the gates, and I started to talk to the lady. I forgot her name. Give me a break. 52 hours awake. We started talking to her, and she really was scared at me at first. She didn't really want to talk to me. But after that, she understood who I was. I told her, hey, I'm practically your neighbor, girl. She really opened up to me while she shutted him down and said to me, oh, you are more than welcome to come here every time you want. We can help each other. And my character is like, oh, okay, I'm having fun, why not? And then the other guy said, can I come here and talk with you about the war? And she just told him no and shut the gates on him. So he asked me, why are you welcomed here? And I'm not. And I just told him maybe she fancy my beard, I don't know.
So, is that your girlfriend?
Yeah, I see Claire in chat. No, she's not. Well, actually, no. I'll tell you the story what happened. One day I was roaming the forest, and there was some character there that just got attacked by a boar, and she was without the arms, and I just killed the boar for her. Ever since, she's stalking me everywhere I go, and just bring me ciders all over the place. She actually came to our keep once to bring me cider. It wasn't that bad, actually. But now, my people, after they saw her, well, heard of her coming to the keep, they actually roam around the land trying to find her and hunt her down, to find who is this mystery girl is, which I won't tell you her name, fellas. I can see you in chat. But my character cannot get... He really fond of her, he really protects her. He protects a lot of people. He met a lot of people on his travels that he protects and helps, but he feels like he can't get emotionally involved with someone because of his wife and his child that he lost. And besides, he's really depressed.
Emotionally scarred Vikings. I like it.
Exactly.
I have to get out more in this server. Holy shit.
Actually, Buckle, I'm more outside. I'm more outside than you think. I've seen so many things and people didn't even notice I was there. Like, I saw when in Homestead where they killed their lord, I was there, actually, watching it while it happened. And I was in Crucible when they attacked them and killed their man. I was around. I was just...
Bro?
You might not want to say that.
Yeah.
just watching the slaughter unfold like that.
That's good.
From last season that I learned is people are sitting there watching in-game more than you might realize.
Yeah. The trees are really good at hiding people.
They really
Yeah.
are.
Like somebody
trees
can
are
literally
bears.
run by you and not even notice you.
This is the
Yeah.
tree man himself over there.
Trees are good people
Yeah.
to have as friends.
Yeah, actually I learned from my mistakes in last season, because in last season I was Julius Maximus, and in a week of game I became a revolt leader, leader of resistance, then I became a knight, protector of the Northeast, after that I became a rebel again, and then I became a diplomat somehow. Just in a week, and I
Sound like
said...
Donald Trump.
And the funny stuff
Too
is,
soon.
I didn't have a base. I didn't have a place to call home, but all of that happened to me, so I decided I will just take my time this time.
Brilliant. Love
Either way
it.
works. Seems like you're finding a lot of adventure, which is really good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's great.
I am.
Excellent. And Prim, to answer your question, that is me with the Metal Gear Solid ringtone. I apologise.
Hear it?
You're fine.
Well, I guess as you mentioned, trees are helpful and useful as friends. Leads us nicely on to Windrush and his wife.
Well, where to start, really? My character is Windrush. He used to be a man called Thomas Lynch, who was in love with his wife, Camellia. She had a brother called Salador, who became jealous of their relationship. Salador was studying to be a paladin, a wizard, and as the jealousy grew in him, he became more inclined to the dark arts, and one day he stepped out from behind a tree when Camellia and Thomas were having their autumn walk through the trees, and he turned her, Camellia, into a tree with his green dark magic. And before Thomas had a chance to respond to that, he was turned into a tree, and they were forced to face each other for eternity without the ability to talk or embrace each other. And they both fell into a deep wooded sleep. After many dreams of pain and suffering, which was Season 1, so all the noise that happened in Season 1, the pain, the suffering, the anger, the rage, the war, it awoke Thomas from his wooden bounds. The taste of soil spat from his mouth, his legs teared up from the earth and ground, and he got down on his knees and made a solemn promise that he would turn Camellia back into a human form. So that was before we even started role playing.
Brilliant. So just that, Claire wants to know if you were made of hardwood or softwood.
Of course she wants that.
It depends. It depends
You
what I'm
always
looking
want
at.
to know that.
When he was looking at his wife before she was a tree, it was most definitely hardwood. When she got turned into a tree, it became softwood.
Branches don't do it for you then.
No, especially only when they drop their leaves.
Nice euphemism.
So my story, shall I just tell
Yeah,
you
keep
what I'm up
going.
to right now? Sorry, mine's a bit more convoluted than most people's stories, but
It's alright,
that's
roll
to
with
be
it, roll with it.
expected. So my story started that he was a human, and he was going to go about finding a way to turn his wife back into a human as well. He set up a little shack in a wooded glade. He had a neighbour called Terry, who was a boar, who was an absolute dickhead, and would chase him around every time he tried to do anything. Ezra, his handmaiden, played by Buzzard, would not help at all. He would, in fact, encourage Terry to chase Windrush wherever he went. They had a pet deer called Dave. Imaginative names for my characters.
That's great.
Thank you.
Oh, hang on a minute, you get brought wine?
Yeah.
I want wine.
What's wrong
Go on,
with you?
Mrs. C.
There's Mrs. C.
Oh, now you made me take out my scotch.
Take off your what? Your skirt?
Take out my scotch.
Anyway, so he needs. Oh, I can't keep things on track. It's just... Okay, where was I? He met some neighbours that were chefs, or training to be chefs, great chefs, who was... oh Christ, what's her name? The two chefs. I've
Seville.
forgotten their name. Yes.
Seville and Lillian.
Lillian. Lillian mainly. Didn't like Sybil much. No, he did. He did. I'll take that back. He met them, and they kind of were looking after their animals whilst Windrush would go out into the world and under a false guise, tell people that he was setting up a trading shop. I believe he went north and met Buckle at one point, unknowing that he was a a good man and attempted to sell him dubious materials. Some of the, but which is fine. So he
Surprised you survived.
Yeah, well, he went round the map talking to everyone and telling everybody about what the Flux Trading Co. With not much luck because he didn't have anything to trade. It still doesn't have anything to trade. He was just trying to find out about everyone and kind of gather information. Anyway, he came back from his trip and he found a man stood in his glade over all of his animals, dead carcasses of animals, and chased him into the woods and asked him why he had killed all his animals. And the man said that he did not believe that having relationships with animals was right. Now, they had met the day before and there had been a misunderstanding of the word love. Now, love from Windrush was, he loved the animals, he cared for them. Love to Jared, who was the man he met who had slaughtered his animals, was more of a sexual kind of love. So he slaughtered Terry and Dave and every other animal that was in his possession.
Poor
So
Terry.
they had a big, they had a,
Dave
Terry
is
was
dead?
a bit of a dickhead. No, I think Dave survived. I think Dave survived. So they had a big discussion anyway. They managed to sort it out through diplomacy and kind of mutual respect for each other. Obviously, he realised Windrush was quite a powerful character and didn't really want to mess with him when he invoked his wrath. So he then told Windrush of his friend Ulf, who had been taken captive by a band of mercenaries in the south, and implored Windrush to go and investigate. So Windrush, seeking adventure and power and meaning to clean Jared of every piece of belonging that he has ever had for killing his animals, it decided to help. So he travels down south and goes to a place called the Seven Hells. He walks through the door and he is greeted by a gruff man with the words, "How can I help you, you cunt?" To which he responds that he is a lost traveller and that he needs bedding for the night. Obviously knowing exactly where he was and who this man was. Grim says, "Yep, we can put you up for the night. You just got to do something for me." So he asks Grim to go to the Shield Maidens to find out who had killed, if they knew anything about Grim killing their old sisters. So he trots along, does some espionage work, finds out that they know nothing and reports back to Grim. And he's over the moon with Windrush's spying ability and takes him in as part of the Seven Hells. So Windrush is quite happy, obviously learning information from the Shield Maidens and Grim and all these bad guys. And that kind of settles down for a while, and he works for Grim. And then things get a bit confusing because Jared is starting to plan an uprising against Grim for all of the belongings they've stolen, the people they've killed, and he's got every keep in the Midlands united to take on Grim. They all travel to Southreach, where because of mainly Cletus, I think, and his rather antagonizing ways, a ruckus forms, and Jared ends up fighting Grim to protect the Cletus, to protect the priest. Windrush turns up halfway through this and lurks in the shadows watching this fight, knowing that really he's pretty happy because one of them's going to die and he doesn't like either of them and he's extorting both of them. So, he's quite happy with the situation. What he's less happy with is just before Grim cuts his head off, he says, "The plan must continue," and looks at Windrush. To Windrush disappears into the shadows, and I believe everyone says, "Is that Windrush disappearing into the shadows?" So he makes a run for it. He has already had a meeting planned with Grim at the Seven Hells, so he rushes back to the Seven Hells. and waits for Grim's return. Grim returns and offers him inside, opens up the keep. They go inside, and Grim has worked out every detail of what's happened. Grim knows exactly that Windrush has been extorting him and working with Jared. And Windrush is quite sharp-tongued, so he manages to half lie and half tell the truth his way out of it. And before Grim's about to cut off his head, Windrush says, "Look, if you can trust me, I'll show you where my wife is, where the tree is that means so much to him." And Grim says, "Okay, take me there." So they travel to his wife, and they stand in front of it, and Grim touches it and feels it and does all the things that Grim does. And then he says, "Give me the names of every person." Yeah, well, come on, use your imagination here. You're in JZ's world of fantastical fantasy at the moment.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. Come on in. Come on in. And he says, "Tell me the name of every keep involved, or I shall cut your wife down." And Windrush is genuinely trying to appease him now. He wants to tell him everything he has, because Jared's dead, so he can't take any more from him. So he thinks, I have to tell the truth now. And he hasn't got enough time. He gives him till sunset to get the information, and he can't travel the whole kingdom in a day. So he says, I can't do it. And as he says, I can't do it, Grim's axe swings at the bottom of his wife Camellia, and he laughs the whole way through, and she falls to the ground. He then carries her over to a shack and starts to cut her into billets in front of Windrush. Windrush is shocked and I know it's an emotional story, right?
It's very emotional.
I mean, they're a Warner Brothers.
It needs HBO.
We're getting a round of applause here, so he's emotional, and then he swears, having nothing else to live for, Windrush swears his allegiance to Grim. In the depths of his despair, as they're about to leave, Grim takes him to the stump of his wife and makes Windrush look at it, and he then produces a sapling that he had taken from Camellia and gives it to Wind and says, "If you're going to work for me, I can't have anybody that's got a weak point. Now you keep this in your pocket, and I know you're a strong man." And that was like, it was going from utter despair to, he can still hang on to his wife, which was quite poignant. It was role played out incredibly, if I don't say so myself. Jam was insane. It was one of the best things I've seen him do.
I will second
that. Yeah, it was very, very poignant. It was beautiful. So anyway, that goes on. Grim takes him back to the Seven Hells, teaches him, trains him in swords and armor and shields, and Windrush has been living there. And since he has been taken into the Seven Hells and has Grim's protection, Windrush feels no fear now. He rides up and down the coast, mocking people, getting drunk. He's kind of becoming more and more of a Seven Hells member. Until the events after Crucible, which Windrush in character only knows whispers on the wind from people from the Shield Maidens and here and there, so he doesn't actually know what's happened. He knows that there was something happened, and he knows Patty's been killed, but other than that, he doesn't know too much. So he travelled back to the Seven Hells on his horse Magnolia. He approached the front door, and a man stepped out from behind a tree and shot his horse in the knee, well, in the lower abdomen. His horse. What? I've lost the plot. Shot his horse in the lower region of the horse, and scarpered as he returned. He was greeted by a man called Warwick at the gate, and he begged to be let in. He told him who he was. They had a very heated discussion between them, and Warwick would not let him in. He refused to let him in. So as Windrush was leaving, he heard Warwick exclaim, "Next time I'll aim for your head," and Windrush retorted with, "Next time I'll split yours in two." To which Warwick said, "I will mark those words." And that's the last meeting he's had at Seven Hells, so
Of
obviously
course.
I know who that is in out of character, and it was quite a nice moment. From there he travelled back to his glen and back to the chef, and had an emotional homecoming where she gave him cider and food, and told all the stories that he's had since he's been gone. He found out that Grim has been trying to convince her to join the Seven Hells whorehouse, and he refused. Windrush does not want her involved at all. So Windrush is now he's a good guy, but he's being led astray by Grim. So he's a powerful man. Grim was impressed with his fighting skills and his
That duck.
Yeah, that duck though. It was impressive. Anybody saw me fighting Jam, he was massively impressed with my skills. That was the first time I'd ever tried to hit somebody as well with a blade, by the way. That was the first time I'd ever fought in the game. So we're at the moment, Windrush doesn't like Grim, but he likes the protection that he provides. So he's the guy on the inside that may be able to do some work for people that don't like him, out of character, obviously. So yeah, that's where we're up to.
Awesome. Very
Wow. Bravo, brother. Bravo.
yeah.
It's quite complicated.
Yeah, it's been really fun watching it unfold as well. So I'm looking forward to see where it ends up.
Yeah, I think because it's a storyline that doesn't involve killing too much, it's more of an emotional.
Yeah.
It's kind of more of a storyline that's based on rhetoric and talking and instead of fighting. I think it will come to a head at some point where we fight, but I've deliberately made it so it's based on emotion rather than just killing another character off, because that last 5 minutes, like, anybody can kill somebody, but making strong emotional connections and strong emotional roleplay is for me kind of a bit more exciting.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Out a lot of different ways to punish people,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
get them to coerce it. It's either have to be really strong RP or death. It's not
Exactly.
You got to get a good RP, or like I think Buzzer and I were talking about this. It's like in a situation where a king could punish someone not by murder them, by hard labor. Go get 2,000 stone kind of thing. Go pave a road. You got to force them into doing something like that. So emotional is the way to go for now.
I think so.
Definitely. Too many fresh new faces on the server.
Yeah.
That may not live out the week if they,
Yeah. Excellent. No, it's, as I say, I've really enjoyed watching that storyline unfold, and both yours and Jam's RP has been on point.
It's been I was massively impressed with Jam.
Yeah.
Roleplay is something that I've done. That's what I do. I've always done that. And the first time I roleplayed with Jam, I was massively impressed. And to have that it's quite an emotional tie between Wind and Grim, that I don't think he wants to kill him. I think he would if he really pushed his buttons, but I think he likes the fact that that Windrush is quite a devious character, and he could use him quite freely to gain more power. I think it's quite interesting.
Definitely. Do you think you can take him?
I'd like to think that we'd have a good fight. I'd like to really think, because also he's training me up. He said on stream, and his character has said on stream, that he's training me up to use poisons on blades, which I'm very close to now.
Nice.
Windrush is also a master herbalist, so he can use poisons, and buffs and debuffs. So I think I'd like to keep them both alive. Obviously, Grim may not live that long by the way things are going, but I'd like to kind of bring it to a really emotional head and just have them go at it. And either way, whichever one dies, it would be a really good roleplay moment. You know, that's what I'd like to happen. Obviously, it's not in my hands; it's in everyone else's hands. But yeah, I think we'd have a good fight.
Definitely. Could be one to watch out for, I think.
Agreed. Very much agreed.
Yeah.
Excellent. Alright, we're going to go back to Clammy for a minute now and talk about Father Lewis.
What do you want to know about him?
Well, let's have Father Lewis's background.
Okay, so Father Lewis Murphy, he was in a different realm before like any of this happened. He was basically under control from like a really tyrant king. He was the king was really like horrible. Like the king would murder if he didn't like feel like that character didn't feel fit in his community, the king would completely wipe him out from existence. And one day the king just decided that Lewis Murphy's God, which is Catholic, so it's Jesus Christ, he felt that Jesus Christ wasn't needed in his community. So he was slaughtering all the priests and the followers who were Catholic. And Lewis managed to get out by sneaking on a prisoner's like boat, which was well, I don't know what you call it, like an escort boat. Is that the right term?
Is it
I don't
full of
know.
hookers?
Possibly.
I think that's the wrong sort of escort.
But yeah, it was transported on a prisoner escort boat, and he managed to come on. What's the realm's name? Like, completely off topic. What's the actual realm? Like, has the
I
island
don't
got a name?
think it actually has a name.
There's no
I
name
feel
for
like we need to create one, really.
Birmingham.
Alright, so
Yeah.
he landed on Birmingham.
Seriously, hope that sticks.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. It is now called Birmingham.
Are you trying to take the piss because I'm from Birmingham? Is that what
No.
Alright, just checking. Being a Brummie isn't good at all. It's quite nasty. But carry on anyway. He lands on Birmingham, and he doesn't realise what it is, in fact. Like, he doesn't know if there's anyone else on there, or anyone else is actually alive in the land. So he thinks it's only him and the prisoners. So he thinks it's like a life and death chance, like a Hunger Games sort of thing. Like, the prisoners are going to kill each other off, and then the last one's going to starve or something. And he finds out that there's communities living on these lands, and he doesn't realise what to really do. So the first thing, instinctively, he starts talking about Catholics, really. He starts talking about his religion, and he learns that some people don't even know what a religion is, like they're atheists. And when he comes in contact with an atheist, he just goes completely mental. Like, he tries to press on his religion to others who don't have a religion. I don't know what the name is for it, I'm just going to say that. But he tries to press his religion onto others who haven't got one, because he feels if you haven't got a religion, you're not really alive. That's what he thinks. That's his opinion. And he's managed to again form up with Legend, those guys at the camp that my other characters are.
Gluttons for punishment.
I apologise.
That's alright.
Joking. But yeah, he lands at Legend, and he starts preaching about his God, and then he basically gets told that everybody has a different religion. He has to respect it, else he's going to get himself killed. And at Legend, it's like really multicultural, as you can tell. Like we've got Bolmu, we've got Andreas, we've got Lewis, we've got Bonnie. We've got so many multicultural people that everybody believes in their own god, and he's come to terms with that. And he just wants to try and survive through his religion, like try and bless other people, make sure that they can basically have a good life. Proselytize. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
There we go.
Oh, he said cheers.
But yeah, he basically tries to make friends, and he knows he's hated. As soon as he meets the first person, he knows he's hated. He goes to the Shield Maidens. He tries to bless their lands, bless their animals, bless their crops, etc. And he basically got told that if he steps foot on their land again, preaching his god, he's going to get gutted. So that was the exact words from one of the Shield Maiden members. And this is like way before I met Grim. Grim rolls up to Legend asking for a person to infiltrate. Is it Ingvar? Is that the camp he raided?
Yeah.
The night?
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes to our camp and he basically takes one of our members. And I'm there. I'm listening to it. I'm listening to it all. And basically, I say like, here, takes God's love with like. He says to Josephine, the one who Grim takes, take God's love. He's always going to be with you, etc. Like he's not taking the piss. He's trying to like basically make them feel like they're loved by something. So he's trying to say like God loves her, God's with her. Basically, she's going to be fine. And Grim basically tells him straight up that he sounds like a fucking idiot because he's basically saying, I'm sorry for swearing. Are you allowed to swear in G or?
To be fair, because considering Jay came out with the C-bomb earlier, I think we're well past that. Yeah, when you were quoting Grim.
But yeah.
Cunt normally.
But Grim basically says he's a fucking idiot for praising his god, and he rolls up like after he takes Josephina gets in the camp. Well, she doesn't infiltrate it. They've got to work for the infiltration to happen, and he finds the Seven Hells' camp while out adventuring, looking for other people to basically pray for, and do all the good stuff basically, and Grim invites him into the keep where he gives him the devil's nectar, or the alcohol. He gets completely smashed off his face, and Grim basically gives him, I'm not sure what it was, but it was some sort of bathwater in a shed. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but he gives it him in a bottle for him to drink, and he drinks a sip, and he basically tastes like shit. It really tastes bad. And he didn't want to like choke or cough it up because he felt that it's going to be disrespectful. Because he's heard of Grim. Whispers in the Wind says that Grim is basically a merc, should I say? Like he likes to kill people. If he seems fit that they need to be killed, he kills them. So he was very, very like wary about his life and stuff like that. And he felt like he needed to drink that bathwater in order for Grim to try and trust him and get like a good relationship going, because we've got like an alliance between our camps now. I can't talk about that because it's confidential, but yeah, that happened.
I think you just did.
Yeah.
That was
Shit.
Brody's bathwater, wasn't it? That scene's starting to make more sense.
Yeah, I
Was it
think
Brody's
that was
bathwater?
probably
That
Brody's
was Brody's
bathwater.
bathwater. Yeah.
Shit.
Brody, who's not allowed to wash unless it's in the rain, because he's not allowed to use the showers.
I've heard that Grim
Oh, okay.
rubs his back in the rain. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So my character
so,
drank that water then.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, he basically was almost choking when he drank it because it was that bad tasting, and he didn't want to like show Grim that he was choking on it, so he had to try and man up about it. And Brody wasn't completely sure about him at all. Like he was constantly saying, "I don't want to learn about your
That's
religion."
because you just drank his bathwater.
I didn't even know. So I didn't even hear. Did he say that in game? Because I didn't even hear that. Well,
Yeah, bro. On Jam Stream, yeah, we could see Brody taking a bath in a tanning tub for a while, and then yeah, he went back to that same spot.
Alright, okay. Yeah, that's why he must have felt a bit uncomfortable then. So that happened. I basically drank his dirt.
His Brody
And
Oh, disgusting.
but that's
Lovely.
disgusting.
soup. You're welcome.
But yeah, he's trying to get a good relationship with as many people as possible, but he feels as if nobody likes him at all because of his religion. He ran into is it Crucible? And the woman behind there, I'm not sure what her name was, but she was, is it Freya or something?
Rhea.
Yeah. She was basically telling me about how Crucible was constantly under threat from Grim, and I said how Grim invited me to his home, give me some drink. Of course, I didn't know it was bath water, so I thought it was like a nice wine or something. I basically told her that Grim got me inside, gave me some drink, and basically fucked me off. And she felt that she was threatened by me because I was an apparent friend of Grim's, even though I didn't know who he was, etc. And the Pope apparently lives in Crucible. So my character is really wanting to get in Crucible, but he's sort of like banned from there now, being as he knows Grim. So I don't know how it's going to pan out for him to get inside of Crucible, but it needs to work out for his story to really evaluate more. That's about it. He's basically a priest with no friends. So yeah.
There's a lot there I didn't know. That's all
Wow.
I hear.
Yeah. Blimey.
I gotta tell the truth, I'm surprised you are not dead by now.
Yeah.
I watch your stream, I watched all your stream, and I watched everything you did, and I'm really, really surprised you are not dead.
Yeah, I mean, the bathwater alone should have killed you.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's Lewis Murphy. He's he's a weird character. As well as Andreas, he's a weird character, but I'm sure he'll find his way soon.
Find his way into a 6-foot hole, maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
And, you know, they'll always
Awesome.
have bathwater at Seven Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just horse baths.
Horse baths, I mean, Brody baths. You can ask for the, you know, Brody special. and-
There's an interesting question. Which is worse, a horse bath or Brody's bath?
Brody's.
No hesitation.
I've seen what that man does. He might have had one of the head wizards conjure up something and, you know, stick it in that. He's a dangerous man, Brody. Also one of my favourite characters on the server.
by far.
Yeah, Brody.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He's incredible. He never fails to make you laugh. I love the fact that he brings out Grim's soft side as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grim has a real soft spot for him, and the moments when Grim is talking to Brody are really poignant moments because it shows Grim does have like a caring soft side, which
Yep.
you can bring out if you're the right type of person.
Or you can exploit.
Exactly.
Letting him know he can make the red spaghetti come out of people's heads. It's kind of telling for the whole kingdom that the only person to survive Ragnarok and all of civilization in the basement is Brody.
Yeah. He is a beautiful character, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, excellent. Wow. Yeah, I think it's safe to say there's some pretty interesting goings on with your three characters. It's brilliant. So, yeah, I mean, this is really why we wanted to do this, so we can hear, you know, your guys' side of things, and so we're not just having to listen to that jam jar guy. Don't know who that is. Don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't
Don't
know who
know.
it is.
Who knows? But obviously, Crom, I know. But yeah, we just want to, you know, it's just great for you three to come on here and give your perspectives on what's going on from your characters' point of views. So thanks for doing that, guys.
No problem.
Awesome. Now, a couple of things before we jump into the game mechanics. A couple of points that some people have asked us to talk about are metagaming and something that I want to bring to the table about people accusing others of having bad RP. Because that really
the
gets on my tits.
Yes, agreed.
The salt.
I mean, just don't. Never accuse anyone of any bad RP. Because
Yeah.
A, it's just not nice. B, let's face it, most of the people on the server have probably never done RP before. Everyone starts somewhere. C, how do you know their character just isn't like that? Hesitant and, you know,
Well, hesitant,
It's-
aggressive.
yeah,
You see them acting one way with one person, another way with another person. You don't know what happened and why they're doing it in all the situations.
yeah,
Normal people.
exactly. So we really, you know, if I see anybody talking, you know, criticising somebody else's RP, I will time them out. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been doing
I
it.
think bad RP is a terribly dirty phrase because
Yeah,
if you're on the server and you're trying to RP, that's all you can ask of somebody.
exactly.
A lot of people find it
Yeah.
very, very difficult to do. It's their first time, like you said, first time trying it. And I
Yeah,
think anybody who's doing it, whether it's not the best RP,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. If you're a decent role player, you lead that person. Right? Usually, there's two type of people in roleplay. There's usually a leader and then a guy that is reactive to what you're doing. Okay, and if somebody's bad at RP, you take the lead and then you make that person better at roleplay. It's kind of it very much works like that in my opinion.
Yeah, no,
And to say
definitely.
somebody's bad at RP, that's like saying, you know, they're bad at a game or something. They're trying their best. If you're not
Exactly.
enjoying the situation, then you say farewell, my lord, and you go over somewhere else. It's as simple as that. To claim that is, I think, if somebody did that to me, or if I saw that being done to somebody, as somebody that's roleplay for a very long time, I'd kick their ass.
Yeah,
I
no,
would,
exactly.
Because I think, you know, there are people that try to kind of protect other people and enjoy role playing with them, and to cut somebody down like that is a fucking coward's move, as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
exactly. And I'd like, you know, what Rhino's put in there. Like, unless the RP violates the rules, it should never be talked about.
Yep.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah. It's something that
Um,
really grates me. Like, really bad.
Yeah, and it's not just this
To an admin,
season.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you have questions about it, don't do it in a chat. Take it in a DM or something like that.
Yeah,
Don't ever bring it to a chat.
yeah,
It's really
definitely.
horrible that someone can accuse someone of bad RP as well, because you don't know what's behind the monitor. Like, they could have problem with, I don't know, they could have a problem with their nerves. They don't know, like, you know what I mean? They could have, like, I don't want to sound harsh, but, like, mental problems. They could have a mental illness or something, you know? And if they're trying to fit in with the community, trying to roleplay, and then some dick just says they can't roleplay, it's completely destroying their confidence, and it makes them not want to enjoy it anymore. Do you know what I mean? It really,
Yeah.
really grates me, that topic. It really does.
We should be pretty, like, you should always remember, especially here, where a lot of the people that are going to be on the server from Jams, chat, or various other streamers, they're not role players, so they'll probably be doing it a majority even for the first time, and that's really good as far as I'm concerned. The more people that role play, the better. So it's a learning experience, you know. You can't expect everybody to make 800-meter headshots on DayZ. You know, you wouldn't take the piss out of them for missing that shot, but you can't take the piss out of them because they don't come out with some epic monologue or rhetoric. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the last I checked, not everybody has epic monologues.
Exactly.
Uh,
Or is an epic monologue or anything like that necessary for RP?
Oh,
Exactly.
no.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't.
you're dead right.
Just as long
I don't
as
think
someone
it's
keeps
really
it there.
necessary.
Just
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. You're just saying what I wanted to say. As long as you keep yourself in character, even if you're a beginner at DRP, you start up small. That's okay. You're not supposed to go hard and go strong into your character, because some people don't really know how to do that at start. It takes time. For me, I know it took me a while until I got nerves to go around and really talk to the people, and really speak from out of my mind and not getting nervous when I did that. It just takes time, and you don't need to blame them on bad RP and stuff. Although bad RP is also a matter of perspective. When, let's just say, me and Cold Fusion meet up and started to talk, and I did something that offended him, or something that hurt him, or killed him, or something like that, he may think of my RP as a bad RP, which is a matter of perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually.
I would never do that, by the way, but...
One other good point to make is, you're RPing. Let the RP take your character with it. Don't try to force your character into the RP. Let the RP happen with you.
Yeah.
It takes two to RP, not one.
Yeah, I mean, just let it flow. Let it see where it goes. See where it takes you.
I've had a really horrible experience from because when I started role playing, JayZedpc, I'm sure some of you know it. I started straight on that, and I know that's hardcore straight RP. And when I first joined that community, the first time I ever got in contact with anyone, I feel like I was trying to express, I was trying myself hardest to try and get into a character, and I think I found out an hour later on the forums they'd completely slated my effort of any RP, and it really brought me down, because it felt like I wasn't a good role player. I couldn't fit in character. I couldn't do anything within the community, and it really made me depressed, really, because I really wanted to get into a good community, a good role play community where I can express myself in a different way, because you can't really do it in real life, can you? Pretend to be a fairy or something.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can, but it's not very fond of.
But I was slated quite hard, and I didn't really get a lot of people sticking up for me, because it was really one-sided, being as it was a forum, and he basically said all of his side, how I couldn't RP, I didn't RP to his storyline, I ruined his story, all this shit. And it really, I'm sorry for getting angry, but it really grated me, because it was my first ever RP experience, and he completely ruined it for me. And it was really just grated
I
me.
lost my virginity. Very similar experience, actually.
To be sort of counter to what we've been saying here, anyone who says that you ruined my story is a bad role player.
Yes.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
100%.
And they may be learning as well. I don't know about you guys. I'm doing it a long time as well. And you go through stages. You learn about it. You think, oh, I'm crafting this big masterful thing, and then some guy just ends it somehow. And you're like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah.
You get mad about it, and then you learn, oh, you know what? Sometimes people just get hit by a bus in real life too, and then their whole story is done. So just
You can tell
punches.
Buckle plays D&D.
Yeah.
Exactly the experiences I've had as
Same.
playing D&D.
Same.
If you're a DM for a D&D group, you craft this epic story, and then suddenly somebody's like, I killed the NPC. You're like, shit.
Yep.
Exactly.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Probably still got the tear-stained character sheets.
Yeah, sometimes it happens that way, and you gotta play it out, and then sometimes you can make something even better from the remains of the story that has now been forked away from you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
A perfect example of that, I can actually go back to Season 1, and there was a point where my character had to bow before Jam in order to get redemption for not agreeing with the Queen. I didn't have the kneel button bound to my character anymore. And I'm sitting there struggling to find it, and Mr. Blackout's sitting there in TS, I hope you can find it, Havok, I don't want to kill you. And I'm sitting here going, I can't find it, it's not working. Literally right before they were getting ready to swing on me, I found it, got it bound, put down. It was perfect though. It played out really well, and we're all sitting here like, God, thank God he found it.
Yeah, no, that's just it, Real life is real life, and RP...
Well,
I love his
like
RP.
in real life.
Yeah.
There's not a huge problem with it in the community, I think. I think it was a little bit worse in Season 1. You had 1,000 people moving in and out of the circle all the time.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a
Yeah.
high quality of player, and people kind of police each other and themselves in a more civil way, which is good. But yeah, you'll still see the randos showing up in chat and be like, oh, this sucks, I'm leaving. And I'm like, oh, okay, bye. And you ban them, and then you ban them across every channel, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has been better in my opinion.
And before we get banned for banning too many people.
There'll be no limits to my banning.
Yeah. No, that's great. And yeah, the other one about metagaming is that I had some comments that some people aren't entirely sure maybe what the difference is between knowing meta information and using it.
Using it is the problem.
Because yeah, exactly. Some people see
Using is the problem.
some
all
people.
of us know what's happening. It's whether you act on it.
Well, that's
what
it.
In
Yeah.
fact, that'll be what makes you a bad role player.
Yeah, very
That's-
much so.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So that's bad RP, acting on meta. Everybody knows, because it's streaming, everybody knows what's happening. I know what's happening with Jam, but my character doesn't. Like, what I've seen with people, Jam was attacking Keep, and then suddenly there was 2 of them in the Keep, and then suddenly they came back an hour later, and every one of them was awake. That's...
I have a different viewpoint on that one.
Same.
They would be asleep in the keep, and you go wake them up. And it doesn't make for a better event if everyone's awake and working.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I agree
Yeah.
with that. I agree with that. I agree
Now,
with
now
that.
if they
I'm
had
gonna-
attacked and people just started logging in like that and showing up, maybe it's different. But if they, giving them time, giving them an hour,
Yeah, maybe
I can
you're
see
right.
I can see your
Yeah.
side, sure.
Yeah, but I tell you what I got a problem with. I see it more and more each and every time. Like, people know stuff from streams, and they're not. Let's just say, they're taking a path to take them towards the story. Okay, they're not
Sure.
really using the game, but just taking the aim to follow it. If you know what I mean. They're just pushing themselves slowly and slowly and slowly with information they couldn't have had, but they know the general location where the stuff going on, so they know where to get. Which really, really annoys me, because how the hell do you know that?
it's tough, especially with everyone streaming
It's tough.
it.
Yeah, it's tough. And it's really
Okay,
hard
alright.
to know how to act to that.
I'll give you an example of where I think that I towed the line of it, and this was recently, where I was already in game with a character that I'm keeping secret kind of thing, and I overheard a conversation, and I knew who the character was played by, a streamer, and I knew he didn't have much time left on his stream, and he wanted to kick things off, and he wasn't getting any action. I knew where I wanted to take my character, and I used the stream to figure out where he was, so I could go talk to him. And I knew he was back
Yeah.
at his town, but it ended up being a good situation where I didn't use that information for anything other than I need to know where he is right now, because if I don't, he's going to be gone for PAX for a full week, and I'm not going to be able to talk to him again. So, yes, that's an abuse of it, but I didn't use that to attack him. But someone could call me
Yeah.
out and say I'm a metagamer for that, and rightly I would take it. But I knew I'm not going to get another opportunity. We'll see people doing it
To
on
talk
streams
to
too.
him, yeah.
No, I think
Checking the
that's
playlist.
I
Is
think that's
someone
fine.
online?
I think that's fine. I think there's
No, that. Yeah,
there was a
don't have
time
a
when
problem with
I
that.
saw on Jam's stream that he was fighting Jared. My character knew that they were both there, but I saw that they were having a duel, and I used that to be there at the time to see it, to progress the story. Which people can claim that I meted it. Was it responsible meta? Yeah, because I did it for viable reasons to progress everyone's stories. It wasn't to kind of get involved with Jam. I don't need to stream stalk Jam to get involved with his story, I
Yeah.
did it because it would be really good for not only Jam's character, Jared's character, and my character. It was useful for everyone. So I think using it like that is fine. It's when you're like, I know they're going to attack, so I'm going to come and defend. So there's, if you're on the other side of the map, you're watching somebody stream, I'm just going to have to come back, otherwise they're all going to die, shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
That's
people-
the problem, because I see
you have
that
to be
happening.
responsible. It's down to your morals, I think. Down
Yeah,
to
I know,
your-
but the problem is I really see that happening. Like, I knew of a fight in Crucible, and then suddenly a guy just came, and I talked to them because I was hiding in the trees, and I asked him what he was doing, and he told me, "Oh no, I just came to trade with Crucible." Really? Where are you from? Down the south. Really? You came from the south to trade just with Crucible?
And yeah, nobody in Crucible knows who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
how's you know the
Exactly.
name of the town?
Exactly. Like,
That's the
You've
kind of
got,
thing.
like-
Sorry.
Go on.
It's just where roll with it. You know, it's like even if you have incontrovertible proof that someone is using stream information or chat information, something like that. Oh, they found out on Twitter. Just roll with it. That character is there to trade. You know, whatever it is, just go. I mean, and it's not going to give you any satisfaction to call them out on it because nothing's going to happen. So just craft the story out of it, you know, and then go with that.
oh yeah, I
That's
just
my
told the
that's my
trade.
opinion on it.
Yeah, I just told the trade and got myself some gold ingots. I'm pleased with that, yeah. But still, it
The
was
reality
like,
is, though, if you put yourself in that situation, you're liable to get slaughtered.
yeah,
Especially in that situation, you know, you put
Yeah.
yourself in harm's way. And especially, you know, with Jam's character, I think people need to understand that it's, you know, I've seen a lot of people getting salty in his chat. Why did you kill, especially like with Buckle? There was a lot of people that confused the roleplay situation there. This is a hot topic, I know. And I know Buckle's pretty cool with it. I know Buckle's pretty cool with it. But there was a lot of people in Jam's chat at the time kind of saying, you know, oh, you didn't need to kill him, you didn't have opportunity to get armor, stuff like that. But I think Buckle knew that he was in trouble at the time. He knew that something was going to happen.
We knew he was coming. Someone was watching the stream. We knew he was coming. And
Yeah.
then to run inside and go
But
get
the-
armor, I was like, fuck it, we're just going to keep
The
doing it.
interesting thing was that they had no, like, genuinely out of character, they had no
Oh, yeah.
intention of going to you guys. They just happened to bump into you guys there, and then Jam said, I've spoken to him since offline, saying this is the only chance we're going to get Buckle without armor on, outside of walls, to kill him. And you know, that's exactly what Grim would do. Grim's a
Yeah.
horrible person. Like,
Mad man.
people have to understand that it's not Jam.
Yeah.
He is an absolute, and I won't drop it again, a bad man. You know?
Yeah.
I
So-
thought it was kind of fluffy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very hot topic,
yeah,
and
The only thing. Go ahead.
I think another thing that probably related that needs to stop is everybody accusing everybody of meta,
Yeah.
because that's
Still
happened
not a lot.
a lot in the
Yeah,
last
just
couple of
ban it in
weeks.
people's chats.
yeah.
Put
Yeah,
a
it's like-
banned word in your Twitch stream, meta.
Maybe,
It's not
but
a bad
it's
idea.
not a bad idea actually.
It's just people didn't even know what the word meta meant 2 weeks ago. For like a
Right?
month.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna get like a BTTV emote saying no meta.
If you'd like, I can
It's
plug you up
just
with
like-
somebody
it's
that
like-
can do that for you.
Some people, yeah, right. Some people are gonna get it. Like Jam's gonna get it. He's gonna get people coming up to him because he's a big streamer. People want to get on screen in front of Jam, so they
Yeah.
can especially get their maybe smaller streams out or whatever, or even just get their moment in the spotlight. That's fine. But the beauty is that Jam's playing a guy that would probably just kill you.
Yeah.
Like
So-
all the random
Yeah,
people that turn up
Yeah,
for 30
it's-
seconds
it's
and die.
perfect. Yeah, just kill him.
And that goes into the RP, you know, just kind of let it happen. If you let it happen, I guarantee you with the characters that are in the current season, you will bump into it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not, they will bump
Yeah.
into it. And,
There's a lot coming up soon where you're going to be meeting these characters whether you like it or not. I can guarantee you that, pretty much.
Yeah, more or less.
Everybody's
Yeah.
going to get involved. Everybody's going to have
Ah.
a moment.
Oh, screw it! I'm gonna stay in my woods.
Create your
Excuse
own.
me.
That's a way to
Storylines.
avoid it, yep.
It doesn't have to be involved with Jam
Yeah.
or Seven Hells, or create your own little emotional storylines, your own little, you know. And then it's amazing how these webs all get tangled.
right?
You'd be surprised.
it gets twisted so quick.
Yeah.
The web that can get weaved so fast, and that was a big thing with season 1. Is everybody was involved in one way, shape, or another, and it was like every little tweak of the web affected everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely. But yeah, I would like to, just try and put a stop to people calling out other people as metagamers. If you have, I think I put it on Twitter the other day and said, if you have proof, take it to the right people. Don't take it into Twitch chat or to Twitter, like general Twitter.
Tell them to DM me.
There you go, you heard it here.
Tell them to DM me or Jan. And they'll get a swift response.
Brilliant.
It's Jam and Crom are the current admins for the server. If you see actual rule violations, per the whitelist, shoot them a message on Twitter since the TS isn't set up yet. If not around, you can come to me with it, and I can pass it along to them since I'm like, I don't know, some kind of lieutenant admin or something. They have one to do. I can make sure whatever it is gets sorted out properly if it's an actual rule violation. Beyond that, just roll with your stories, do your thing, and if you know that if you really don't want to get involved in something, don't log out in the middle of it. But if you know something bad's going to happen, maybe play another game that night. That way, because if you know you're going to be salty about it, or
exactly.
just be upset, just maybe I'll go play Rocket League with my buddies tonight instead of get slaughtered. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
The other
exactly.
thing is if you think you're going to get salty about a situation in a chat and you can already see it coming, close the screen down. That way you don't even risk yourself saying it.
That's advice I could take because I've blown up. Not even just about meta stuff. I'll just be like, that's fucking bad. Maybe I should just close chat and shut up for a little bit.
As much as, that sucks to say, but it might be best just so if you think you're going to let yourself slip in a chat, close the stream down and be like, okay, something bad's going to happen. I'll come back afterwards, watch the VOD and go, what the hell to myself?
Yeah, definitely. I like Buzzard's idea. Has everyone read that? Turned up outside 7 Hells RPing as Daisy Twitch streamers.
I don't think that would fly, but maybe. Maybe.
I think it could be amazing. It'd go well for...
The Buzzard goes and does that.
Yeah. We volunteer you, Buzzard. Off you go.
Would you be a bandit,
I've had
though?
enough of Ezra
I'm
anyway.
trying to figure that out.
No, you'd just be a Daisy Twitch streamer. Or,
Hi, my name's Mr. Chili. And,
no, because he combat logs.
exactly.
I've had
It's
that
a
on good
wizard
authority,
now.
by the way. I'm not just throwing random accusations
no,
out.
it's completely true. Yeah, it is true. I can vouch for that. He's a dirty combat logger.
Oh, brilliant. Alright, let's move on a bit.
Topic to bring up.
I just need to go for a wee. Is that alright?
Yep, go nuts.
Like I'm in school.
If you really want to.
Well, I
We
need
don't have
to.
too much more time, so.
Give me a
Yeah.
second.
Has anybody in chat got
The
anything?
wine just went through him.
Yeah. So yeah, has anyone in chat got anything they want answered? Because I believe Havok's kind of got a mass of things to talk about because he doesn't really want to focus on anything.
Yeah,
So maybe if we can get chat to ask some questions, we can answer them. You alright with that?
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
I'm
Just
I'm
Claire, don't ask her name. You won't get her name, Claire.
And it could be character stuff for the
I'll
guests.
tell you.
stuff.
I'll tell you her name later, guys. I just don't want her to know that.
Brilliant. How much is it worth?
For her, a lot.
Excellent.
See? I
So,
told you.
so there we go. So we can ignore Claire's
Yeah,
question.
you can ignore Claire's first question.
Wasn't slain Jay, man.
And S.Jam as well.
I think her name is Flux.
No. Never. Flux is a good friend of Gudbrand. He found her, he helped her. She's like a sister to him.
Oh, there we go. Inhibited. Inhibited wants to know who's your daddy. Havok.
I don't know. I never met him.
Daddy, and what does he do?
I don't know what he does. I think he digs. I'm not sure.
Brilliant. Alright, well, I believe you've got some stuff that you've picked up in chat this week.
Yeah, just simple things I picked up in chat.
Yeah, okay. Roll with it while we're waiting for some questions to come through.
Yeah, just simple stuff. On breeding, everybody knows breeding naturally happens in the barn, stables, chicken coops, all that wonderful thing. But you can select what horse, cow, pigs, sheep, whatever quality animal you want to breed in the side tab of the barn, chicken coops, or stables. You just drag them over there. So if you want to breed like a high quality stallion, make sure your stallion's a little bit higher quality than your horse, and you should technically get more stallions than you do horses, and vice versa. Same thing goes for bulls and cows, same thing goes for any pairs. And each time you'll get a little bit higher quality, so if you want to rotate, you can get more and more and more and more.
Pause you for a second, Havoc. It looks like his volume's too low.
Yeah, I've just turned it up.
Yeah, I just cranked mine up too. Excuse the background noise. Roommate's making food, so.
Sorry.
On farming, it is important to rotate your crops. Believe it or not, rotating your crops actually makes it so the quality comes out higher each time. That's one of the things. And also, your farming skill affects how high the quality is for your crops. So, like, say you plant, when you harvest that round that you just planted, the quality will go up. So each time, technically, you can just keep bumping up the quality of your crops. Technically. But yeah, any questions at all about anything, shoot us a tweet at Delving Into Dynasty or ask in chat, because
Yeah.
there's a wealth of information here.
Yeah. So, sensible questions. Nobody said you have to be sensible questions.
Yeah, they're all
It's just not so
look
many
like they're
questions.
ambushing,
Yeah.
trying to ambush me.
Are there spots for high quality sand?
Yeah, I know there's quality 100 fertile soil. You know, that's what you use for fishing and farming and stuff like that. I've never thought about high quality
Sand.
sand.
Were you
I-
asking the
Honestly,
sand
higher
question?
quality.
I am really good at that, providing that sort of information, because I'm not really like a gatherer or anything. Like, I can gather stone and stuff, but 100% quality, like, it's quite hard to
What was the
do, so.
question? I missed the question.
From Isulu, he said, is there a spot for high quality sand?
Yes, there is. There's 100 quality sand in a lot of places. But it's not like, actually, any of the quality of anything you find, like say you find 100 quality rock in one place, it's not going to be there on the same map. There's not even a general roundabout. It can be completely different each time. So
Okay.
looking for sand, you're going to have to search for it. Have we found high quality sand? Yes. We have a bunch of high quality sand that's quality 100. It's just you kind of got to
Nice.
fish around for it.
Nice. Alright.
On a side note, we have 100 quality sand.
You didn't know that?
Nah, I don't know.
It's in my magic cart with all the high quality
Yeah.
magic building supplies. Yeah.
Brilliant. How long is Almo's
Sorry.
big toe?
What?
Almo? S. wants to know how long your big toe is.
Well, 2 inches. That's it.
Still talking about your toe.
Yeah, they probably decided they won't get the girlfriend name.
They're just going to ask random
Just
things.
sidetracking. Yeah,
Brilliant.
just ignore them.
Okay, so one from Prim, Jay and Clammy. He wants to know where you came up with your background stories. And Jay, how did you come up with being a tree in a previous life?
You want me to
Oh,
go
Jay, take the
first?
stand. You can take the stand, mate.
Well, I don't know how familiar you are with my kind of YouTube or Twitch content. I know you follow me on Twitch, but
Spam his YouTube and Twitch.
a lot, pretty much 100% of my content is kind of quite fantastical roleplay. So I spend all my time out of streaming coming up with ideas for characters and just stuff that's a bit different. And I spend my days, if I'm driving to work or driving home from work or at work, kind of.
Fuck you, please
coming up
continue.
with these ideas, and then they just evolve the more I think about them, and then I get it to a stage, and then I just roleplay, and it kind of evolves with the people I meet, and the story from there. But yeah, it's just a lot of time being a bit weird, going to an art college probably helped a lot, and the amount of narcotics that were taken at said art college, and kind of the culture that I surround myself in, I guess. I don't know, just odd chap.
But we love you, I think.
That's
Well,
the main thing.
What about you,
from
Clammy?
my side, since like secondary school and primary school, I've really enjoyed creative writing. Making up stories. That's always been like a really strong point for me. Like if you asked me to make up a story, I could get it to you within like the day. Like I could write a full like background story, the name, history, everything. Like that's something that really interests me. Creating characters, really. I've always wanted to, which will never happen. I've always wanted to create characters for maybe movies that will come out in the future. Do you know what I mean? Like a scriptwriter or something. I don't know. But I've really enjoyed since primary school writing creative stories. So that's where my background's really come from. Just a few good hours of thinking, really. And
It's only never going to happen with an attitude like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Never say never, bro.
just do it, Clammy.
Just do it.
Do
Brilliant. Havok, have you seen that question from Isaac?
Yeah. Steel tools. The steel pick's worth it. The sickle's worth it, because you have to use steel to make them. But making any other weapon or tool out of steel is just a folly. Big mistake.
Better for harvesting rather than fighting.
It does it bump your quality? Yes, it does. But you can achieve 100 quality without steel very quickly, and depending on what it is, 100 quality is not always like feasible on tools and things like that. In fact, should I go into what 100 quality does for different things?
Maybe we'll save that for next time, because I've got a feeling that could take a while.
The quality and your skill kind of work together, right? So if you have a 100 quality item, if your skill doesn't match the quality of the item, you're only going to get as much as your skill provides, roughly, right?
Roughly.
Yeah.
Depending on the item, but yeah, roughly.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you have a 100 level cooking pot if you're not a 100 level cooking skill. I mean, it'll contribute, but you won't get as much out of it. That's kind of
Yeah.
Awesome. Right now, is the server right? This is rather full. Are they?
Did anybody else just see that?
Yeah, I just find it. Nothing happened. Just keep on going.
What did I miss? Okay. Rhino, I am not entirely sure. I believe Jam's going to add some more people, yeah?
If people become inactive for too long, their slots are given to other people. Yes.
Good. Excellent.
There's no set way that happens. Just if you're finding people aren't logging on for a long time, and then there's people who want to get on the wait list. They shuffle around. They being Jam. Jam has done 99% of the wait list. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Alright. Anyone else got any questions before we wrap up?
I see one.
Speak now for have hold your peace.
Damage based off the quality of the weapon. Anybody else a mathematician or no? No.
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 Okay, well, technically, yes, higher quality weapon's going to give you more damage, but there are so many factors to contribute into that it's like a mathematician calculation. I can have a quality 1 weapon and still pump out 101 damage to somebody in the head. Yes, I know that for a fact. Done and tested it. Higher quality, I don't see that much increase. like I said, if you're not a mathematician, you're trying to figure that calculation out, I can't figure it out. Like, I've tested tons of weapons, tons of qualities, and I'm just like...
Sorry, Havoc.
Sorry, Havok. Blame
Sorry.
Booney.
Sorry, Adam.
Sorry.
So you were saying?
Oh, no. There's no real high-quality weapon versus skill. It's more skill than the high-quality weapon. High-quality weapon just means it's not going to break as quick. That's the big thing on the high-quality weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You generate more damage depending on the weapon, like agility for bows, strength for melee, and stuff like that. I think that has a bigger influence on it than the quality of the weapon, as far as I understand.
Yeah. As far as my
Yeah.
testing's gone, that's been the big thing, is actually your skills, your stats. Quality of the weapon actually hasn't played a factor at all.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've seen people talk about it in chats. Do not waste your Vataska steel on armors and weapons. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Save that for your monuments.
Especially considering how long it takes to freaking craft some of that crap.
Yeah, I've seen that question pop up in chats a lot. Oh, can I make Vataska's armor? You sure can, but you shouldn't.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Task armor. Oh my god, I would have a heart attack.
You see, it would be
RP
nice. Yeah,
If
yeah.
you could say, like, yeah, this sword is Vataska steel, make it out to be, like, Valyrian steel from Game of Thrones or whatever you want. That would be cool. But that's still going to break in combat just like any other thing.
I don't know if I could keep my RP together for that, though.
Uh,
I'd be laughing. I'm sorry, I would be laughing. It
I think
sounds
Booney
cool.
had a question.
Okay, so Jay,
Um,
how did you get so damn sexy?
Well, long story actually. No, I'd just like to say thank you to Booney for recognising how sexy I actually am, and that he can continue to stroke my ego as he sees fit. Thank you. Bye bye.
There we go. Excellent. Booney, you have full permission to stroke Jay's ego.
And anything else.
Well, now that we've got
Okay.
that up and talked about,
Exactly. Any closing thoughts from anyone?
I'd like the makers of Life is Feudal to sort out alchemy and herbalism, please.
Really? I just
Also,
thought VoIP.
crashing and they can't fix VoIP, apparently.
But especially alchemy.
Yeah,
Alchemy would be great.
The fact that it just takes so
They can
freaking
make-
long, I guess.
It makes you have a snowman.
bit
They
more
can have you
deep-
make a
deeper.
snowman and snowballs, but not
Always go
apparently
deeper.
they cannot fix the VoIP issues.
Because it's
The-
built
the-
in Steam.
yeah, VoIP's built
Yeah.
into Steam, that's why.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Do you think they'll adjust the combat melee? I don't think they'll do much to it.
Combat melee's on point. It's just
Fairly
most people
well
don't
balanced.
know what they're doing. I'm not trying to be mean, it's a fact. Most
need
people
to
really
learn the
don't
dot.
know.
Ways of the duck.
The duck.
Ways
Yeah.
of the duck.
Yeah,
It's,
if anyone's seen Jay's fighting style, go with it. It works.
Yeah.
Here's what started to help me learn how to fight. Your mileage may vary. Stop dicking about with practice weapons. Use actual real weapons and tell your people when to stop, because that's how I started to learn the actual hitboxes, because they're different on the practice weapons versus
Yeah.
the standard weapons. Once I figured that out, I stopped hitting people with my hilt and started hitting people with actual
Yeah.
business end.
And
Just
you
make
can
sure
get
you've got a
healer.
healer, because
Yep.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, when you're at about 50 hard points, it's a good time to say stop. If you say it too late, you could
that's
be
swing
dead.
point action. Yeah.
Just saying, depends on who you're fighting. Mistakes were made multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, those skills are easy to get back, right?
Yeah.
So there we go. Alright. Well, thanks, I guess thanks everyone for joining us tonight. And it's been fun. I hope it's been entertaining. And worst comes to the worst, you've had Jay's pretty face to look at.
It is rather pretty. These buckles, though, he's a pretty man as well. You're all
There
pretty
is that.
men. I'm just going to say, put that out there, you're all pretty men.
Yeah, okay.
So,
This gets all the boys.
Clammy.
Shame about the girls, but hey.
Oh boy. Looks like a toenail. Is that?
Oh dear. Alright, brilliant. Well, thanks everyone for stopping by. Thanks for all the follows and everything. And I don't know. We've actually got quite a few people in chat.
It's been popping up all night.
They came to see Clammy's toenail.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Where did it come to my toenail? What's going on?
Just roll with it.
Hey,
Just
I
roll-
spoke on
just
my
roll with
toe. You can go on your toenail.
Hashtag toenail.
How about? 'Cause I believe Jan might have gone live with Life is Freedom.
Yep.
I say we go drop him a fusion bomb.
Yeah.
If people in
Agreed.
chat are up for that.
Agreed.
Before we do that, can we get a plug on JZ and Clammy one more time? If you guys
Yes.
aren't following these two guys, and you didn't follow them the other 19 times we were plugging them, please follow them. It's fantastic RPers. Almo, I'm pretty sure you don't stream, but
Nope.
find this dude in game because the storyline sounds fantastic.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to
And
meeting.
follow Delving Dynasty on Twitter, so you can find out next time we go live. We're doing it about once a week now.
Yeah. Hopefully we should make it back to next Saturday next week.
Yep.
I don't have family issues getting in the way.
Saturday, Sunday seems to work out.
Excellent. Alright, so we'll let's drop a cold fusion bomb on Jam, and we'll see you next week, I guess. Alrighty. Love you guys.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.